Then we have Kevin Miku. He was on just a moment ago here. He's a CEO of CloudAccess here. Andreas from Threat Metrics. Come on, Andreas. On down. And then the person that traveled the furthest from this conference and gets a special award is Matthias Eriksson from Cloud. Come on, all the way from Stockholm, Sweden. Thank you for joining us today, Matthias. This is great. Okay, so the topic of this one is flying high and safe in the cloud. And before we start off, I want everybody just to do a brief introduction of themselves and their companies in case you missed some of their CEO showcases earlier. So go ahead, Pascal.
Yeah, so I said just a few minutes before is that I am leading Gattis, and we are providing Cloud River, a smart cloud network orchestration tool. It helps developers and operators in the clouds to better understand and troubleshoot their cloud deployments based on the network issue they can have in these public and private clouds with migrations.
Okay, Kevin.
Hello again. Kevin Miku, CEO of CloudAccess, and we control and manage access to applications and devices for enterprises. So it's a B2B application.
Thank you, Andreas.
My name is Andreas Baumhoff, CTO for Threat Metrics. We have a cooperation platform to make sure that you can distinguish the good returning customers and can detect anyone who's doing trying to do some fraud transaction on your system. I'm quite interested in how we can bring together high and safe with cloud in one sentence actually here. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. Guys?
Yeah, hi, I'm Matthias Eriksson, and I'm from CloudMe, the CEO there. We're providing a cloud storage-based access and sharing service, preferably for the mass market, consumer market, to become device independent and always have all your digital staff applications.
Great. So what we really have here is three of you on an immediate left are really the B2B solution, and you're sort of more of a business to consumer solution, right? You know, so people sharing photos, making storage for their, digital data off their PC. So we're going to have two viewpoints here, sort of what gets us straight down. So let me just ask of each of you, what are the key top issues that your customers are talking with you about today, right now, Pascal?
The main issue is the complexity. When you want to go to the cloud, you need simplicity. People are asking for simplicity. And we are still struggling with a lot of hardware issues, mainly in the network part, because the network is still static. So thanks to network virtualization, we will have more abstraction, the network will become soft and programmable, and it will give a lot more agility to the cloud.
Okay, how about you, Ken?
I would say visibility and compliance management. So a lot of our customers, and even in the past, other firms that I've been involved with, the issue has been: do we know who's accessing what, and can we report on it to the auditors to meet compliance requirements? And the cloud version of it actually asks for affordability and manageability as well, because obviously moving from enterprise to the cloud, there is significant cost savings that comes with the cloud. So a combination of visibility, manageability, and affordability.
How about you, Andreas?
So most of our customers, they think this is amazing, technologies to have a service over the internet, over the cloud. And with success, typically they're also being a target and for the bad guys. And the biggest thing is kind of how can they focus on running their business and at the same time deal with all the issues in regards to security, in regards to fraudsters trying to penetrate the network, people trying to use stolen credit cards, stolen identities. So we are all in kind of taking away this pain to a certain degree of dealing with security issues and let them focus on what really matters to them.
How about you, Matthias?
I would say that trust, of course, is a main issue for all our users, and you really want to rely on something where you've got all your stuff that matters the most for you in your personal life, like of course your family or friends or things you want to share with loved ones. But also, of course, this immediate online access to everything. You can be anywhere and access anything you have at any time. So you don't really have to think about where where did I put my things from last summer, or where was those great images of my grand making a fun of itself in summer, or whatever. You can always access it from any point. So device independency and true cloudness in that way, I think that's the most important thing as a platform cloud, of course.
Right. So it seems to me that flying high and safe in the cloud is really about quality of service.
Yeah.
People obviously are talking cloud because it's fast, it's quick, it's easy, and security sort of seems like an afterthought unless you have a big visible problem like Amazon going out, Facebook or LinkedIn passwords being compromised, and there's a big PR blitz, and then people go, oh my God, I got to change all my other passwords because that's the same one I'm using for my online banking, named after my dog, you know. Pascal, you were taking in mainly with a dashboard view of the IT infrastructure and finding out where those massive wicked bottlenecks are, whether it's in the web servers, the network itself, and giving people a view into that. So flying high in the cloud, if you're in the clouds and in a fog, it's not good. But if you can see the blue sky from the clouds and navigate your plane around the storms, then we're good. So show us, tell me about that.
Yeah, that's, people, when they are entering into the cloud, they want to understand what's happening. Can you imagine that you are flying with a small plane in cloud, in a real cloud, and you have turbulence coming, and if you don't have any instrument to understand what's happening, you may, be in big trouble. So that's exactly what the people have as feeling when they are in the cloud. And today there are a lot of point solutions. What is needed is an integrated tool which is able to immediately see where is the biggest bottlenecks and helping them to solve it.
In a proactive way.
Yes, exactly, because in the cloud everything is very dynamic, so it's very difficult to plan and that's what will happen. So you have to discover and you have to understand in real time what's happening and to react.
Basically, you have to be proactive and be able to do triage when something's wrong.
Exactly.
And quickly do
Yes.
fix.
Yes.
Move on.
Yeah. So we accumulate a lot of data because there are a lot of sensors and instruments to help this. But we have to really aggregate them and filter what is really meaningful for the user.
So Kevin, tell me a little bit about your solution is a rapid adoption security solution for enterprises. And a big deal is single sign-on. One of the biggest security breaches we have in the cloud for people that are on-premise or off-premise is having their employees maybe terminated, come in and do some vicious attack on the system. Tell me about how your solution fixes that problem and address what your customers are asking.
Well, the way we deal with it is that people typically refer to this as user provisioning and provisioning. And the way we deal with it is that you take any authoritative source from the customer, let's say it's your SAP HR system, or it could be Active Directory or LDAP, or any other source that customer wants to feed that new employee to us. Whether it's a promotion and the role has changed, or whether it's a new hire that just came to the company. We trigger that, we understand their role, and because we are role-based access control, we take that employee and we know based on their role in the organization and company policy which application they should be provisioned into. So we put that user into those applications. So to answer your question, when an employee is terminated, it's kind of a reverse of that process. We know when that employee is terminated, and in real time, all of those access rights are revoked. And therefore, that employee has no longer access to those applications. And I think that this is a problem that used to be mainly internal to enterprises. And I think the biggest issue has become now with hundreds and hundreds of applications in the cloud, how do we manage it for our internal applications, and how do we manage all of this for the external application. But the nature of the security issue remains the same, but not completely expanded.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I think, the point that you raised as well before, it doesn't always have to be an afterthought, security being an afterthought. I mean, unfortunately, that is the case in a lot of, incidents we have. But we deal with a lot of, high sophisticated, companies like financial institutions. And they've been very much used over the last 5 years that there's very sophisticated targeted attacks against them. So they have this, big data and, a lot of, defenses around this. You see the bad guys now moving towards, other areas like towards merchants, towards smaller payment gateway providers. So you have different threat levels for various, enterprises. And this is what makes security so complicated. It's not one solution fits all. It's you really have to look at kind of what exactly do you do. You have had Trojans, malicious software, doing fully automated wire transfer in the background without you knowing 5 years ago. The banks know how to deal with this. Oh, I mean, that's, yeah. I might rephrase this if I would start over again. But obviously the banks know that this happens. In a lot of other areas, there's a lot of applications going into the cloud that don't have this visibility, don't have the experience, don't have, 200 people in the fraud investigation teams, don't have, IT security department teams to deal with these kind of issues. And that really is what it makes it so complicated. Providing a secure environment and providing a unique and a very kind of, user experience that is really fast, quick, and typically the better the user experience, the less security, the better the security, it's a bit more cumbersome. So that's a trick we're trying to solve here.